When we win, we get it back, then we take it on back to a ladder so unbalanced. It's the Masochist challenge.
Hello and welcome into the episode. As you can see on the screen, we are now a mere 3 wins away from Platinum Tier 5. So all the grinding done so far this month is about to pay off. Real quick look at the deck. I am still running sort of the trap monsters because of Silhouette Rabbit. If I have any trap monster, I can set Statue of Anguish pattern and it immediately becomes a pop in addition to the body on board. And other than that, we're still running with sort of the extra deck link spam stuff, as well as if we happen to high roll into Fusion Destiny, that obviously is a nice bonus on top of it. All that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so loading in, going first, love to see that. Our opponent's on 57 cards in the main deck and 4 in the extra deck. Let's see if we can get in there. Special out our guy, and Witch of the Black Forest. I do have a Mimesis Elephant, so let's go for the Silhouette Rabbit. I'm just curious to get more kind of data on how that's going to perform for me, so maybe Little Knight is the better play. Alright, so Witch Search, and I'll go ahead and chain the rabbit. Just like we drew it up, I am going to set the Statue of Anguish pattern. And then for the Witch, I'll go ahead and grab a Towers. That feels pretty good. Hyperia would also be a pretty good idea, I suppose. I'll set the Galaxy Cyclone, might as well. This does make me more susceptible to back row removal than if I just went for Little Knight Pass, but you know, I think that's a trade-off I'm willing to gamble on. Set 1. Well, fair enough. I imagine I'll be cutting that for time for you guys, but that was another person who, bizarrely enough, just, you know, set their monster, but then let the time limit run out. So, I don't know, maybe they were hoping I would quit, but they do not realize how hungry I am for new cards. Let's see what we get. Destroyersaurus, sure. Dark Magic Twin Burst. Gradius, classic. Yowie, is this anything useful? I don't think so. Argenex Undyne. Neos Force. Mementotlin Bone Party. And Volcarion the Rotting Phoenix. So if you control a zombie, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can return this card from the field to the hand, then you can special a zombie from your hand. Honestly, as far as like generically playable zombies go, this is probably on the better than average half of the bell curve, let's say. Memento Bone Party, I do have, I think, a playset of Goblin. I'm not sure about any other names. Unfortunately, like even with this quick play, I think Memento, you know, requires basically all of the names to make it actually playable. All right, well, let's keep it moving. All right, loading in, going first this time. I will note that our opponent is on 43 and 14, but also their name is a bunch of letters. So it's quite possible we are in bot territory. I do feel like we fire off the Pot of Desires despite maybe messing up the Fusion Destiny, which I did in fact do. Okay. I suppose I also banished the Statue of Anguish pattern, so I think it is a Little Knight Pass kind of turn. to sweeten the pot, I'll also throw down a Mech Knight. That way Little Knight is online, even if they start off with Raigeki. Normaling the Elise. Sure. Set 1. Battle phase. This is not very human-like behavior so far. Taking a bunch of damage for no reason. We love to see it. Going end phase. Okay, well, unless they're doing a very convincing cosplay of a bot, this is looking to be a pretty easy victory. Nice to have a big attacker. I think we just go for it. I'll even throw down the Tiki Curse. A Mises Elephant doesn't actually have any attack, so let's go low to high. Gotta respect Gores. Well, it looks like that will clean things up. Let's go grab another Master Pack. Alright, let's see what the robots have blessed us with. Maybe a holo, although it's hiding right now if it is in here. Numeron Calling. Funny card. I don't know whether I have any of the Numeron Xyz monsters. I definitely don't have the field spell. Spiritual Water Art Owie. Dagda. Ooh. Another Link 2. And of note, it is generic, so you can just make this with any 2 monsters. I will have to go through the collection and see if I have any of the artifact monsters. I definitely don't have the best one that is still legal, which would be the one that destroys a card. But you never know, there might be something playable there. Rank up Magic Soul, Shade Force, Echo Oscillation. You can target a card in your Pendulum Zone, destroy it, then draw a card. Another, we'll say it with me, another card for the Pendulum Slop deck. Crawley the Magistus of Grimoires. Okay, sure. Traptrix Atrax. Unaffected by holes. You can activate whole normal trap cards from your hand. The activation and effects of normal traps activated on your field cannot be negated. You know, it's got a high attack stat, and I do have a number of different hole cards. I'm only running 1 at the moment, but making it so that normal traps can't be negated is actually pretty sweet. Definitely one that I'll want to keep in the back of my mind. I'm not sure if it goes in the deck currently, but you know, I'd love to hear some thoughts on that. Ally of Justice Unlimiter. Just an Ally of Justice card, that's all we need to know. Pretty sick Traptrix card, I think, and you know, happy to see the Dagda as well. Alrighty, 1 more win until Platinum. Alright, going second this time around, and our opponent is on 60 in the main deck, 12 in the extra. The hand's not looking too bad, honestly, in terms of, you know, I can special out Evil Hero, grab Lilybell from the deck, and get into a Link play pretty immediately. It's really going to depend on the power level of the opponent's deck, of course. Hecka hands. They're going to go ahead and fusion. Getting the Jauza, using off Gygus and the revealed Mankibwell. I don't know how to say these cards, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and add a Hecka Hands card. That'll be the Ibtel Reveal Special, a Hecka Hands monster. The Gygus, of course. Excavating. They can special my Deer Note, I suppose. Summoning Curse. A bit of a stun card. Interesting. Well, at least we have a bit of a clock built in with that Summoning Curse. What way do we want to go about this? Obviously, we need to try and lock down the set. Oh, Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. Sure. Luckily, I'm not planning on attacking with monsters that have a level. They demand that I banish one from hand, so let's get rid of this guy that I can't special anymore anyway. Terratop Search. Let's go for the Silahat Rabbit. Set the Anguish pattern. And we'll get rid of the red-eyed dice. Don't really care. Okay, and now I don't actually have enough cards in hand to care about Summoning Curse. So I hope they enjoy paying the cost for it. I don't think it's mandatory, but I guess we'll see. Effect to special summon a Hecahands monster. Sure. They banish a card from their hand. It's the Vanity's Ruler. Okay. End phase. Okay. I think we just see what the draw is. Wall of Disruption, pretty nice, given that they have 4 monsters on the field. I'm pretty happy where I am. They're not really doing anything impressive, so let's see what else they can do. Okay, they'll get in for 600 damage. All right, now I think it is time to start popping stuff. So let's go Anguish Pattern. Silahat Rabbit to pop that Summoning Curse. Mimesis Elephant. All right. That's fine. Had a bit of a brain fart there that I needed to pop Grave of the Super Ancient Organism in order to use Statue of Anguish Pattern pop. Interesting. They're sending it for me. Let's see what the ad is. The Heckin' Hands sets the counter trap. All right. Let me see. So I think I'll go ahead and pop multiple things here. Statue of Anguish Pattern. Pop the Gygus, and Silahat Rabbit. Pop the counter trap they just set. And now if they go to fuse, I can change their attribute, or rather their type, with the Mimesis Elephant. Okay, getting another counter trap, this time for spell traps. Sonic Jammer to prevent me from activating spell cards. Sure thing. No, I don't actually know that Mimesis Elephant changes the math here because they do have so many names, so let's just see what they go for. The Dandalos, or Dondalos? Okay, well, until they get rid of a monster on their field, they can't use the effect to take one of my monsters. IP Masquerena. Alright. Let's hit that with the Trap Hole Nightmare. I don't want them doing that. They'll get back the Fuser. Setting the Spell Trap Counter Trap. Going Battle Phase. I guess I'll take my 600 damage. I need to do something with my first action to deal with the IP. So let's do it like this. SP Little Knight, banish their fusion. IP effect, try to link off. SP response, banish the IP. Now they don't have a heck of hands on the field, so that counter trap is going to get sent. I can even clear the Deer Note with Lizardos. Let's go to battle. And end phase. Resolve light stage. And then get back SP. And of course they'll get back the Masquerena, but we're in a pretty good spot here, it seems like. Dark Hole. Okay. See you next turn. Got any follow-up? Alright, making me draw and discard. Do they have heck a hand in hand? No, it's the Fuser guy, right? Yeah. No, we are chilling. Probably should have put those two slightly different zones for the link arrows, but whatever. Not quite in lethal range with Rasterliger, but I will be next turn. I think. Well, especially with the Tiki Curse in hand. End phase. Looking pretty good. Yeah, let's get this guy out here. That sounds fun. Maxi, not gonna do much for you here, pal. Let's clean this one up. Behemoth, the king of 100 battles. Finish him. And with that, we will rank up finally into Platinum Tier 5. It has been a long grind to get here, but it feels good that now I can finally start grinding in Platinum, maybe seeing more meta decks, as opposed to, you know, a lot of the lower powered strategies that I've been seeing so far. I'm excited to see how it goes. For the rank up to Platinum Tier 5, can we see any additions to the collection? Honestly, any random trap monster might be good enough to run. So, Magistery Alchemist, a hero card, I guess, Amorphous Persona, and a Maze Attraction Majestic Merry-Go-Round. Let's see what the effects are here. Equip it to my own monster. Oh, it has to equip to an Amazement if it's a monster I control, so never mind that effect. If I equip it to an opponent's monster, it loses 500 attack for each attraction trap equipped to a monster. Not very good. Okay, Flame Swords Dance, Chronomaly Soul Monolith, the Return of the Normal. When exactly one monster is normal or special summon face up, destroy all monsters on the field with less attack than that monster. I mean, with the Behemoth play like I just did, technically that could wipe out a lot of monsters, but in general, not a very strong card. Another Memento card. Interesting. Akihiron. This is... what? If you can activate this effect this turn, level 9 or higher Memento can attack directly. If it's destroyed by card effect, target a different Memento card, banish her in the graveyard, add it to hand. If a Memento card in your hand or face-up field is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. So that is like the start of a Memento package, if you want to call it that. Obviously got to see a lot more cards than that, but very funny regardless. And finally, Ancient Warriors Loyal Guan Yu. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent cannot target other Ancient Warrior monsters you control with card effects. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. So the thing that people say with that card is that it's like Pankratops at home. Like if only the opponent controls a monster, you can special it. If they happen to control more monsters, you can target one, destroy it. If he survives, it's possible you might get multiple pops. That is a pretty strong card. I don't think I can ignore that one. That one is going in the deck. All right, perfect. A little bit of improvement on our way to Platinum. All right, first game in Platinum for the season, and I have managed to win the coin toss, which is a key step. Let's see what we can do here. I guess it's really just Lord set everything. It does protect from destruction, so seems kind of good to me. I know I say this every time I open Lord, but there's always the chance I can set Fusion Destiny and get DPE next turn if I resolve his effect. Setting 2. Never mind, setting more. You can stop setting. Please stop setting. Battle phase, for reasons. End phase. Okay, I am going to special out Tiki Curse to trigger Lord. I'm a bit concerned that this is going to be a burn deck, so, you know, summoning stuff, putting more cards on the field, not necessarily great for me. All right, well, first action, Fusion Destiny. What do we think? It is resolving. We love to see it. That is a huge step. Let's normal Terror Top and get a search. Alright, battle phase. Want to get a flavor of what we're up against. So, DPE, pop the monster. Water Dancer. So they'll be able to change one of my attack position monsters to defense position. I imagine they choose Lord. Choosing the Lily Bell. Interesting. Well, I have no idea what the set cards are. I guess theoretically this could be a bot, but you know, seems like a pretty random card. All right, well, I'm locked by the Fusion Destiny, so let's pass it on back. Getting the DPE back, which is, you know, always reassuring that they don't, you know, have a called by or a bestial they want to fire off. Battle phase. Main phase, end phase. I don't think I need Fuma Wave, so let's start ripping apart the back row. Time Thief Retrograde. Maybe this is a bot. Only one way to find out, which is to continue popping more cards. Cynet Fusion. Yeah, this feels pretty random. Let's see if I can get it in one. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, do your thing. And there's the dub. First in Platinum of the season. Alright, let's see a Platinum pack for a Platinum victory. We don't need to talk about the fact that it was probably a bot. Glorious numbers. Metaphys Armed Dragon. Not a bad normal if I ever get, like, Primite stuff, I guess. Trickstar Narcissus. My second one of these, I think. Alright. Dwimmered Glimmer. Activate this card by banishing a face-up monster you control or one monster in your graveyard. Special summon it as a normal monster with the same level as the banished monster. So it is a trap monster, but it kind of has a cost. I guess maybe by the time I'm activating this, I will have linked off for Silhouette Rabbit or SP Little Knight. So that's probably playable. I'm gonna have to think about that. Trojan Gladiator Beast. Doom's Raiders, the continuous spell. A nice little card for the strategy, not playable for me, unfortunately. Worm Ugly. When you tribute summon a reptile worm monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard to your opponent's side of the field in face-up attack position. Sure, not very great. And Cunning of the Sixth Samurai. Not the strongest pack. I'll have to think about this trap monster, because it does come with a cost, apart from just being a continuous trap that you have to wait for. But anyway, let's keep going. Alright, loading in and I'm going first. You know, I can't read Japanese kanji, but this looks very similar to the player we played earlier that had 43 and 10, I think. I think maybe I will simply Lord, set 2, and pass. My hope here, of course, is to, you know, activate Lord and set Fusion Destiny, and that hopefully seals up the game for me. Battle phase. I was gonna say, are we doing like evenly for one? All right, Mimesis Elephant. Trigger the Lord. And the Lord set the Fusion Destiny. Punishment off the top, pretty nice. Frame 1, Fusion Destiny, of course. No response here. And now that all the DPE bricks are out of the way, we can pot of desires with reckless abandon. Okay, well, I will normal Aperia just for the draw one. Feels worth it to me. Let's go battle phase. Ooh, some kind of response here. Alright, replay. I do think I am going to... Does it matter? Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, so might as well get the extra 500 damage. Pop my Iperia. No ad for a Predaplant card. Maybe they're doing some kind of Masochist thing as well. I will bring back the Dreamer. Okay. Pretty good. We've whittled them down to 2,000 life points. And there's plenty of disruption on the field. At least 2 pops, maybe a third with the Jiragumo. So I'm feeling pretty good about where we stand. Danger Bigfoot. Pretty decent. Throwing out the code generator. This definitely feels like a sealed kind of deck. Summoning the Bigfoot. Fortunately, they're in the middle zone there. Normaling Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. I'm going to go ahead and pop the Bigfoot just to prevent any Link 2 nonsense. Going battle phase. Okay, maybe this is a bot after all. I'm gonna go ahead and punishment. I think like the only way they live is if they have 4 Honest in hand or something silly like that. Fusion Destiny will pop my DPE, but we'll see him next turn. Alright, come on back. Alright, can we close this one up? Lord of the Heavenly Prison. There it is. Another pack in the books. Let's see what kind of stuff we can get this time around. Plenty of low rarity stuff that would improve the deck. Ancient Gear Frame, not one of them. Pressure Run. If a face-up Earth Machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. Apparently not my first one, so if I ever get on like the Masochist version of Earth Machine, it's nice that I have multiple of those. Mutant Expansion. Star Drawing, so if you use this to Xyz summon a monster, which can be level 4 or 5, you can draw a card. Not terrible, but does take up the normal. Solar Recharge. Discard a Lightsworn, draw 2 cards, then send the top 2 of your deck to the graveyard. Obviously, I'd need a huge critical mass of Lightsworn stuff to use that, but that would be fun if it ever happened. Ignite Crusader, you know, as far as like playable stuff is concerned, Ignites are certainly somewhere in there. And adds a Fire Warrior. I believe I have the Fire Warrior Mikanko, if I'm not mistaken. So there could be some kind of silly brew like that in the future, with like Ignites and the Mikanko stuff. Red Eyes Retro Dragon. And what is this holo? Crystal Miracle. I seem to be collecting a lot of Crystal Beast spell traps, but not really any Crystal Beast monsters except the Rainbow Dragon I pulled a while back. Not the worst pack, honestly, for just kind of expanding outward, but nothing terribly playable right now. I guess let's keep things going. Loading in, and we are going second, but on the other hand, the hand is not looking terrible, by which I mean a Fusion Destiny is in there. Obviously, the trap monsters are not very strong when we're going second, but there's still a possibility that we can break some boards. Looks like it is Sky Striker. Oh, to be back on the Kaijus. Really, we're doing the Toon Table of Contents stuff. That is, at this point, a little bit of an old school tech, but I suppose it's also possible this could be like some Exodia nonsense or something. Like, this is Platinum 5 still. Activating the Toon World. Ooh. And the Lilith Lady of Lament. We are on nonsense. Relay Soul. Oh, now I'm excited to see what they're doing to me. End phase. Special summon a monster. Is this just self-TK? It is self-TK. Thanks, I guess. Well, technically, the opponent lost. I don't know if I won, but I feel like if my opponent lost, that means I won. So I am going to get a Master Pack, even though it feels kind of cheap. Anyway, let's see what we get. Synchro Cracker. The True Name, Rank Up Magic Skip Force, Argen X Overseer, Iron Core of Kawakimeru, Grand Master of the Six Samurai, Salamangreat Gift, and Kazajin. My second of the Gate Guardian pieces, and obviously I'm playing the Jiragumo trap, so I do have one slightly related card. It would be interesting if I could ever get into some of the fusions, but the odds of pulling them obviously very, very astronomically low. Not the best pack, but considering that I basically got it for free, suppose I can't complain. Let's keep it rolling, I guess. All right, loading in, and I am going first, right? Yeah. Opponents on 40 and 15, and they have, you know, a bunch of upgraded aesthetics, so probably on something real. Well, the hand is not too strong. Unfortunately, I can't get into even a Link 2. So I think the move is just to set and hope for the best. Let's see what they're on. Ooh, Normaling Dragoonity Senatus. If they're on actual Dragoonity, they're going to combo off eternally. Trapple Nightmare can't obliterate a normal summon monster, so hopefully there's a special summon monster that I can pop that is impactful enough. Equipping the Dark Spear. Doesn't seem like the optimal equip, but honestly I don't know anything about Dragoonity. Battle phase. Let's go Stingray. They are attacking in, so maybe they want to get rid of the equip card. And end phase. Fair enough. I suppose I need to try to get in there and wrap up the duel as quickly as I can. Let's see what else they have in store. Nothing so far. Now the question is, should I be going into a Link? Yeah, I think Silahat Rabbit is just too good to pass up here, given that I have a set trap monster. Go for the Anguish pattern. So this allows me to obviously pop with the Statue of Anguish pattern, but also get rid of their back row. And I am going to frame one Statue of Anguish pattern just in case they set a normal spell as a bluff. Interesting. Big Welcome Labyrinth. Why wouldn't they activate in response? Phalanx. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop it. I don't want them linking into stuff. Please don't evenly me. Okay. That was looking a little scary. Maybe they were trying to bluff. See if I would just scoop out of absolute terror. Right. Deep Grave, get a big boy back. I think the biggest boy is my own boy. Maybe the big boys are the friends we made along the way. But probably not. Well, this is lethal already, so not much reason to delay things any longer here. Let's go low to high, as per usual. Always playing around Gores, as you do in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And with that, we take down another opponent. Pretty solid night so far. Another blessed Master Pack, and that guy's even here. We all know what that means, right? We all know what that means. Oh, Moon Mirror Shield. Moon Mirror Shield, of course, the equip card that reads, you always win the battle. Always. That is fantastic, actually. It almost doesn't matter what the rest of this pack is. Anti-Alien. Okay, well, honestly, one for the Cyber slot pile. Let's all recognize that. Fiendsmith in Paradise. Okay, I'll take the Fiendsmith brick. Branded in red. Nice. I do not have Despia. I do have the... Is it Albion the Shrouded Dragon? The level 8 dragon that becomes Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard. So maybe that's theoretically playable. Oh! Sprite Carrot. A free special and a spell trap negate. I have waited so long for some low rarity Sprite cards. So now I think I gotta go back through the collection and see what level 2s are playable. Try to get... Because now... Sprite Elf is so much better. Wow, what a pack so far. Fateful Hour. Target one monster that cannot be normal summon set in either graveyard. Special summon it. Ooh, I could get back DPE, I guess. Or like any extra deck monster. That's actually not terrible either. I don't know if it's worth playing yet. Steamed Sabersaurus, generic rank 4. You can detach a material from this card, destroy a dinosaur in your hand or face-up field, then you can change the battle position of one monster on the field. So, you know, you can technically use it to flip monsters, or you can change an opponent's attack monster to the defense position, I guess. Generic rank 4, though. And... ooh, Insector Picofelina. Honestly, for insect strategies, like if I pull like Resonance Insect in particular, or Goki Pull, something that, you know, gains an effect when it goes to the graveyard, that is not bad either. What a crazy pack. Am I crazy? Like, this seems very strong. Moon Mirror Shield definitely goes in. And then Sprite Carrot most likely goes in. Wow. What a pack. All right, well, zooming on in here into the deck, I just wanted to show the changes. So I've dropped the Tenyi Spirit Adhara, the level 1 tuner, to put in the Sprite Carrot. That does give us less synchro access, so, you know, it's one of those things we're going to have to just kind of test and see if it's worthwhile. And, of course, putting in the Moon Mirror Shield, I swapped out the Super Rush Headlong. You know, maybe that is actually not correct. Can I type? What do we want to do instead? Super Rush Headlong. What has been underperforming? You know, if I'm going to pick anything, it's probably the Set Uppercut. It's paid off once or twice, but not as often as it should. Okay, this feels better. Because Super Rush Headlong, it can also break a board going second. Beyond that, because of just a string of lucky duels, I am 1 win away from Platinum Tier 4. So, I guess wish me luck in this next duel. Oh, interesting. This opponent has similar aesthetics to an opponent that I played earlier. I can't remember what they were on. Anyway, won the coin toss, so I guess let's get it going. Gonna go for the Terror Top. That'll let me add the Red-Eye Dice. Foxy Tune effect. Pitching that Red-Eye Dice for the Deer Note. In a normal, the Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy. Link off for Elf. That'll let Deer Note bring back Foxy Tune. So that would be the point at which they could use Nibiru. Looks like they don't have it. It's been a while since I've been punished by Nibiru. I do have Silahat Rabbit, so I will go ahead... or sorry, not Silahat Rabbit, Mimesis Elephant. I've got to, you know, continue strap in hand. So I'm going to go for that Silahat Rabbit. Set the Statue of Anguish pattern. Like, SP is very good, obviously. But so far, the Rabbit has been paying off because with the Statue of Anguish pattern, it's, you know, a pop of a card in general, and then Rabbit gets the bonus pop of a spell trap. It's just a lot of card advantage. Dragoonity Draft. Okay, looks like they don't get to do anything on activation. They will be unaffected if they get to attack. Tau Tau the Chanter. We'll go ahead and chain on for that. Setting 1. Setting 2. For the end of the main phase. All right, so battle phase. Let's start popping stuff. Get the Statue of Anguish pattern so that Rabbit can pop one of the sets. An Archmage card, okay. Let's go Elephant to pop that Illusion monster. Seems like they're just playing like anything that was in the current pack. So this very well could be a bot, I suppose, but they have like an upgraded field and mate and base and whatever. Maybe there's like a new type of Masochist format that I don't know about. I don't know. Like sealed, but only using the latest pack. All right, main 2, Elf gets to bring back a monster. And end phase. Ooh, the Hyperia off the top. Love to see it. What should I do to clear some room off here? The link arrows are a little obnoxious at the moment. You know what? I'm going to go battle phase before I lock myself out of attacking directly. I might regret this. We'll find out. Elf in. No response. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. And I think that clears the way. Link off for SP Little Knight. Banish the unknown set there. A Hack a Hands card, so it's another card from the new pack. Huh. Ripping the Fog Blade off the top. Love to see that. I will link off, I guess, into Virus Swordsman. Basically just making it so I can bring Hyperia back again, get another draw. Back to the opponent. Well, it's a little anticlimactic. You know, I was hoping the battle to Platinum 4 was going to be more of a grind, honestly. But I've just kind of lucked into a lot of low power opponents, or opponents who are on lower power decks. Maybe that's a nicer way to put that. I'm curious if this is how Platinum 5 just always is lately. It seemed like Gold was a lot more of a slog so far, but you know, I'm sure once I get into Platinum 4, I'll get a beating of a lifetime. Normaling the Dragoonity Partisan. I suppose I will get my draw. And honestly, I'll let them gain 1,000 life points. I don't want them starting any combos. Let's just end it as soon as we can, okay, friend? Drawing into the Tiki Curse. Not bad. End phase. Bring him on back. Herald of the Abyss if I wanted to just drive the point home, I suppose. But we have 58 minus 12. That is plenty of damage. Let's see if we can end this and collect our next pack and rank up. For the rank up to Plat 4, there it is. Onward and upward. All right, it is the end of the session, which means that I'm going to start out here opening up some legacy packs. I've got, I think, 17 total, but I'm just going to open up 10 and let some more accumulate for next time. Let's see what we can rip here before getting the final master pack. All right, the second dice dungeon Summoner of Illusions, World Legacy, World Key, you know, not bad. Getting some World Legacy cards. I think they have random support stuff. Magic Jammer, not the worst card. When a spell card is activated, discard a card, negate the activation if you do, destroy it. I think, you know, unless I get on a specific kind of strategy that's maybe a bit behind me at this point. Kaiden Kendo Spirit, not a terrible pendulum. It has, you know, a fairly high scale. When you pendulum summon, you bounce it back to your hand. Not terrible at all for the pendulum slop deck. And Stamping Destruction, honestly good if we're on a, you know, dragon strategy, of course. Chthonian Blast. Let me see if this is any good. When a face-up monster you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, woof on that condition, but destroy a face-up monster on the field that has the lowest attack. And if you do, inflict damage to both players equal to half of that monster's attack. Decent enough if I was on like a burn strategy. Miniaturize. Activate this card by targeting a monster on the field with more than 1,000 original attack that has a level. Its level is reduced by 1. Also, it loses 1,000 attack. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. You know, sort of floodgatey against, you know, rank strategies, or if they require specific levels for a synchro. Probably not good enough for the current deck, but could be fun in a different kind of deck. That's all I'm seeing here from the Legacy packs that really look worthwhile. Let's head over to the Master Pack. Ooh, last Master Pack of the evening, and it looks like we'll be getting an ultra rare. It's going to be hard to beat the last pack that I opened. It just had so much good low rarity playable stuff, but let's see what we find. Kawaki Mirror Meru Graveros. Junk Defender. When opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not bad. Once per turn, you can have this card gain 300 defense until the end of this turn. You know, that activates in the damage step. It's like the worst battle fader ever. Return of the Red Eyes. Okay. Dousing Fusion. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard. Only pendulum monsters can be used as fusion material for this card's effect. What an odd fusion card. Interesting. Terrors of the Underroot. Ooh. Target up to 5 cards in your opponent's graveyard and the same number of your opponent's banished cards. Banish those targets from their graveyard, and if you do, return those banished targets to the graveyard. That's a pretty decent trap card. You know, most of my trap cards, of course, have to be focused on what's going on the field, but this is basically like a really terrible DD Crow, stuff that needs to revive from the graveyard. Just swap it with something that they have banished. Unfortunately, it does require that they have something banished. Another Adhara. You know, I think I do have the Fire Sword Soul, so seeing more worms in general is not a bad thing. Logi's Flame. Oh, a Valkyrie card? Alright. Let's see what the final card of the evening is. What is our ultra rare? Trivikarma. Ooh. So, obviously, it has the on-field effect, target a Vsauce in your monster zone, and an effect monster your opponent controls. Negate that opponent's monster's effects, and if you do, your targeted monster gains attack equal to half the original attack or defense of that monster, whichever is higher. But the effect that most people use it for, or used to use it in Tier Limit, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add a spell trap that mentions Vsauce Starfrost from your deck to your hand. That is pretty decent. It makes, you know, certain things like Manatium more playable if we ever luck into enough of that kind of stuff. The only reason I'd consider running this right now is because I have the level 8 Tuner Synchro monster whose name becomes Vsauce Starfrost. It's pretty strong for that reason if I retooled my deck into more of a Synchro deck instead. Doesn't go in the current deck, but honestly, this is not a bad pack to end on. Alright, well, with all that being said, that is where I'm going to wrap up the episode tonight. Thank you so much for watching along. I hope you're enjoying the episodes. I'm certainly enjoying grinding out some Masochist. If you want to keep following along, of course, subscribe. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.